All right, good. It's kind of like morning, afternoon right now, YouTube. I am over here at my daughter's ice skating practice. Like I said, as a busy mom, it seems like the work never ends. She has a birthday party today, actually, that we're actually trying to prepare for as well. So, anyway, I'm trying to find a place to sit down actually where I can be not too loud but kind of quiet. So I wanted to just touch base with you guys today and kind of break down some of these four principles that I talk about in terms of women being the shit, right? So one of the first principles, or the first principle, I should say, is spirit filled. And when you think about the term spirit filled, I believe that we're all filled with a spirit. We're all filled with a soul. So I will tell you right now, I'm not a religious person, but I'm definitely a spiritual person. I believe there is a huge difference. I don't subscribe to any one religious practice, but I definitely believe in God and the fact that He created each and every last one of us to fulfill a purpose while we're here on earth. We can have multiple purposes, and He's given us the gifts and talents to make sure that we're able to do that. The purpose that we're here to serve is ultimately here to um, make mankind better. So I believe all of us have an individual message, and we also have people that will be able to spread our message to. There are going to be people that will be open to listening to you, people who want to hear from you, and people who you just naturally gravitate to. So the spiritual piece is, again, really there to give you guys hope, and it's also that part of you that wants more. That's what I think about when I consider spirit. I tell you, anytime I make these videos, I feel like my glasses are lopsided, but I don't think they are. Okay. Anyway, so the spiritual piece of who you are is that part that calls you and wants you to do more with your life. Um, I know for me, for many, many years, I knew that, I'm supposed to be here doing so much more. I don't mind going to work on a daily basis and doing quality work. Actually, I strive for excellence when I'm at work, but I know for me, there's something that makes me extremely happy about being with people, and especially working with people to understand what they're capable of. Now, I didn't even understand that that was my purpose until I actually started working in admissions. As an admissions representative, one of my responsibilities is to interview prospective students and find out as much as I can about them to see if we have programs that match their interests. And so, in doing that, inevitably, I would always talk to women who had been given all these false ideas about themselves. They would always um, have these concepts about what they couldn't accomplish, or concepts about them not being smart enough to go to school, or perhaps there were single moms who felt like I have too many children. I would talk to women that had 6 children, 5 children, even more than that sometimes. Occasionally they were in abusive relationships. They didn't have a large support system, so going to school seemed like something that was completely out of the question. And I always felt that one of the beauties of being able to go to school online was the ability to do it on your time. As a mother, that's exactly how I had to do it. In fact, if somebody told me today that I needed to go back to school and get a doctorate degree and I had to go to the campus, would not get accomplished. The only thing I can do is online work because of the way that my schedule is set up. So again, going back to these women, we would have these conversations, and many times, asking them the right questions would really open up some wounds sometimes and start that process of healing. And those are conversations that they hadn't had before. So their ability to do something different would become visible to them. They would start having, a view of their future, and even start to think about the fact that they had some say so in their future. Some of the women that I would be speaking to were so used to being controlled by their husbands or by their certain significant others. Just heard a student say yesterday when I was listening to a phone call that she couldn't go to school because her husband wouldn't allow her to. And that's not to say that women are the only ones that seem like they're controlled by their situations, but I think we're very willing to allow situations sometimes to control us. If you're married and you have children, so many times you feel like your needs need to come last. You feel like, as a mother, your kids' needs are supposed to come before yours. And I get it. I have felt that way on a number of occasions. But today, knowing what I know, understanding what I understand, I believe that if I'm extremely needy and I'm not healed and I don't have the things if I don't have things in my life that are whole, I am not in a position to give my children truly what they need. I'm not in a position to give my husband what he needs. So I have to take care of myself first. So many women are not on their own to-do list, and that's unfortunate. It's a very comfortable place, I think, for a lot of us to be, and it allows us to fade to black. It allows us to recede into the background and not have to do a whole bunch of soul searching to figure out what it is that we're supposed to do. So I'm not saying that that's a place that we love to be in, because I think it leaves us very unfulfilled, and then that can create a lot of other issues: depression, overeating, alcoholism, just some very self-destructive behaviors, because we aren't fulfilled in other ways, so we look externally. And that is where I think we need to really connect with our spirits, right? So getting back to that S, you have a spirit inside you, and like I said, I think we have these desires and we hear spirit calling us, but we cover it up. We cover up the sound with a lot of the responsibilities that we have in life. So my hope and my prayer for all of us is that once we hear that call, we ask questions. We try to figure out what is it that we're being called to do, because that's where we're going to be the most productive, and that's where we're going to be the happiest. I hear women say all the time, they just want to be happy, but what makes you happy today might not be the same thing that makes you happy tomorrow. I could be really happy today, maybe if I could take an uninterrupted bubble bath and drink a glass of Moscato. And tomorrow, what might make me happy is just being able to hang out with my kids and spend some quality time with them for 2 hours. So to say that all we're looking for is happiness, I think is a confusing concept, because we really can't understand what that is. There's nothing solidified and consistent about it. But what is consistent is purpose. So your spirit is beckoning to you, and I would challenge you to really understand what it's telling you, what it's asking you, what it's pushing you to do, what it's driving you to do, what it's expecting you to do. And if you're running from it, you should try to figure that out as well. Now, again, as a certified life purpose coach, I deal with women all the time that are dealing with these issues, and that's one of the things that I love to help women with, is break down those barriers to understanding and even embracing and walking in their purpose. There's an element of fear that exists when you start thinking about doing that, but there's ways that we can get past that. So again, what I really wanted you guys to understand today is that S piece, that spirit-filled nature of who you are, that part of you that is hopeful, and that piece of you that is really looking for something more. What is it calling you to do? What are you being called to do? What are you missing in your life? What are you wishing you had the opportunity to do? What would you do if you knew failure were not an option? And these are some of the questions that you have the ability to ask yourself when you're looking for those answers. So if you have any questions about it and you need some assistance, feel free to leave a message for me in the box below. Or like I said, you can message me on my website, www.akiliworthy.com. That's AKILIWORTHY.com. So I'm getting ready to head on out of here before my video time is up. And remember, this shit is spiritual, okay? This shit is spiritual. It's time to own it and take your place, all right? Peace out.